Hey, we are the Lab Doctors. I'm Amanda.
I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Zhao Yong.
We are biomedical researchers who realized we still have a lot to learn about science.
So why not join us on this quest?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lab Doctors podcast. So this week we're going to be talking about a topic that you may all be familiar with, cholesterol. So I'll be asking a lot of questions and hopefully you remember what you learned in your bio and life science classes.
Did we learn?
In life science?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there. Okay, so let's start with, what do you know about cholesterol?
There's good and bad cholesterol.
Okay, but what is it?
Oh, fat. Is it fat?
It's a precursor to steroids.
It's a type of lipid, of which fat is another type of lipid. So a lipid is a fatty substance. And then like fats are also called triglycerides, and triglycerides are a type of lipid. So cholesterol is a fat-like substance produced by your liver and is critical under normal circumstances. It's the building block for our cell membranes, so all our cells have cholesterol, and other things such as vitamin D and several hormones.
It is a building block of the cell membrane, not the.
Oh yeah, thanks. Can you guess about what percentage of cholesterol is produced by the liver?
1%?
Yeah.
Okay.
10%?
For most people, it's 80%.
Oh my god. I thought we just ingest cholesterol.
Then why do people keep talking about like, oh, you need to ingest less cholesterol?
The remaining 20% usually comes from our diet, and it may be found in animal-based foods such as egg yolk, poultry, seafood, and whole milk dairy products.
Then like how much impact really does your diet have on like cholesterol levels then?
So basically cholesterol is still needed, but let's get into that later. So before we get into the different types of cholesterol, why is it bad?
It's not.
Okay, why is too much cholesterol bad?
Because they get stuck in your blood vessels and they form plaques, causing angina pectoris.
Okay, angina pectoris is just chest pain. But like, let's go into the two things that I'm gonna cover. So,
ischemic myocardial infarction.
oh my god, 100 points.
I was going to say that's too chim for me. But
So ischemic is basically when there's not enough blood supply to a place, and myocardial infarction is when a part of the heart dies. So how does that happen? So too much cholesterol in the blood may lead to a buildup of fatty deposits on the walls of the blood vessels. So these are known as atherosclerotic plaques.
Yum yum.
If it's severe enough, it may result in the blockage of blood vessels, causing the blood flow through these blood vessels to decrease. And if it happens in certain places, then bad things might happen. So for example, if it happens in the coronary arteries, so that's the blood vessels that supply blood to the heart muscles, the decrease in blood supply and therefore oxygen and other nutrients causes the heart muscles to damage or die, leading to ischemic myocardial infarction, or also known as a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't plaque everywhere. So if the plaque, the PLAQUE, happens near the brain, then the person will experience a stroke.
oh,
Okay, so let's get back to cholesterol, or the science behind it. So is cholesterol water soluble?
No.
oil and water do not mix.
Correct. So this means they don't dissolve in water. So to travel in the bloodstream, they need to be carried by particles known as lipoproteins. So lipoproteins are particles made from fat and protein, and they can carry cholesterol and triglycerides through your bloodstream. So this is one of the ways that cholesterol gets transported across your body. So there are two major forms of lipoprotein.
High density lipoprotein and low density lipoprotein.
Great. LDL and HDL. So if you've done a cholesterol test before, you may have heard of it. So which is a good guy and which is a bad guy?
High density is good, low density is bad.
Oh my god, A+. So the low density lipoprotein, or LDL, carries cholesterol from the liver to different parts of the body where they are needed. But it has the tendency to deposit cholesterol onto the walls of blood vessel, leading to the formation of the atherosclerotic plaques that we talked about just now.
LDL just sounds like it doesn't know how to do its job properly. Like just deposit it anywhere it wants. Like the wrong place.
Yeah, so sadly, LDL cholesterol is generally known as the bad cholesterol, lowering the levels of of LDL can reduce our risk of coronary heart disease and stroke. But it's still necessary because they do their job. They just, like Dorothy said, maybe
Not 100% accuracy.
So the high density lipoprotein or HDL carries excess cholesterol from different parts of the body to the liver. And high levels of HDL may help to reduce our risk of heart disease or stroke. However, describing cholesterol as good and bad is a little oversimplified, and we need a bit of both, and it's essential to get the ratio right. Okay, so this is a perfect segue into the new research, or relatively new research done at Ohio University, and it was published in 2019. So they found that indeed it's not as clear-cut as LDL being labeled as the bad cholesterol. So using it as a predictor for potential risk of coronary heart disease and other cardiovascular diseases may be misleading. Oh, yes. So apparently, studies have in fact shown that around 75% of patients who suffer from heart attacks have cholesterol levels that don't indicate a high risk for such an event.
Oh, could be me.
So the authors, Hua and Malinsky, showed that there are actually 3 subclasses or types of LDL, and only one of them causes significant damage. So 3 subclasses are called subclass A, subclass B, and subclass I.
Of course.
Along with previous studies, LDL subclass B was shown to accelerate the growth of atheroma, or the thing that eventually causes plaques, and also accelerate the progression of atherosclerosis. It has also been shown to cause more cardiovascular damage and is the most damaging to endothelial function, thus contributing to plaque development. So there was also a clinical study that found that the concentration of subclass B was high in coronary artery disease patients. And it was associated with low concentration of HDL, so that's the so-called good cholesterol.
Okay.
Suggesting that it may be used as a risk marker for coronary artery disease. So the caveat here, as with most new research, is that more research needs to be done.
Sure.
And you probably haven't heard of tests available to test for different subclasses. Or at least I haven't.
If they can do it in the study, then they can do it on...
Yeah, so they figured out a way to do it in the lab, but it's not readily available yet. So what do we do?
Send our blood to that lab.
Don't eat cholesterol.
Okay, so the current cholesterol tests that we have still matter, and you should still try to keep your LDLs low and your HDLs high. But just don't take it too hard.
As in, don't like, if you're passing all the tests, doesn't mean that you are 100% safe, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Right. I thought you mean like, oh, if you're failing the test, don't take it.
Oh, no. Okay, so because LDLs are like LDL subclass B is still part of the LDLs that will be detected.
Yeah.
So if you lower your overall LDL, your subclass B LDL should decrease as well.
But then the LDLB, right? Like relative to the A and I, did they say the percentage? Like they say it's high, but you know what I mean? Like when people say, oh, your LDL levels are low, like you were saying that, oh, okay, by right, your subclass B level would be low. So, but it could be like, it's not low enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Which is why if you pass the test, it doesn't mean you necessarily pass the test.
Right. Okay, what am I talking?
So
No, that's correct.
They didn't publish like the exact amounts, and like I feel like it was more in vitro. But they did like reference the previous studies that were like clinical. But I think it's not big enough yet for them to know the exact ratios in people. So you may be at higher risk of developing high cholesterol if you are someone who
is obese.
Yes.
Old.
Yeah, okay, it does increase with age.
But if you don't need to be obese, what?
Yeah. You don't have to
So this, you may be at higher risk. So this, I would like you all to list the risk factors.
So body weight.
Yes.
Age.
Smoking.
Yes.
Alcoholism.
Yep. Consume a lot of saturated and trans fats, like those found in fast food. But alcohol can contribute to
fast food. I like it.
Have limited physical activity.
Oh, yeah. Like
Family
exercise. Family
history of high cholesterol. And
diabetes.
Yes, diabetes, kidney disease, or hypothyroidism. However, people of all ages, genders, and ethnicities can have high cholesterol.
Yeah.
So what can we do to lower our risk of developing high cholesterol?
Exercise.
Yes.
Eat healthy.
Do not smoke and drink.
Yes. eat healthy. So what should we eat?
Greens, lean meats, fish.
Fish, because they contain omega-3 fatty acids.
Can I eat fried fish? I really like fried fish.
I think everything in moderation. So foods that are high in cholesterol, saturated fats, and trans fats include red meat, organ meats, egg yolks.
Organ meat as in like, let's say eat the stomach or eat the intestines.
Egg yolks, high-fat dairy products, processed food made with cocoa butter or palm oil.
Oh, that's chocolate, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Deep fried foods such as potato chips, onion rings, and fried chicken.
What about the ones that are toasted or baked?
Fine, better. So all this to say, not that you have to completely avoid these foods, but if you do have like slightly high levels of cholesterol or LDL, consider reducing them. And in case your cholesterol is not manageable via lifestyle changes, there are medications to help you.
Statin.
Yes, statin. So what do statins do?
Reduce your cholesterol level.
Make everything static.
So statin is actually like, it inhibits one of the steps in the cholesterol synthesis pathway.
Okay.
So what it does in layman's term is it blocks your livers from producing more cholesterol.
Then I will need to eat more.
In some cases, if you have a family history of cholesterol and as you age, as much as you try to manage your lifestyle and everything, you may still have high cholesterol. So don't be afraid to consult your doctor on like the best ways to manage this condition.
Right.
Because there are drugs available and you should take them responsibly with your healthcare professionals' advice. Also, it's relatively safe, I would say.
Yeah, apparently it works for like almost everything. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just don't be afraid of it, but don't take it for granted as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and like don't let that replace the health choices you can make.
Yes. So actually I did a blood test recently and apparently my LDLs are high.
Yay, high five.
We just high five for the listeners. Yeah, so
LDL is high. As in it's
just above the supposedly okay range. But my HDLs are fine. I think it's same for you. And total cholesterol is fine.
Yeah.
And HDL to LDL ratio is fine.
Yeah.
And yet I still eat fried foods.
Yeah, I'm panicking like crazy a bit.
And yet we still eat fried foods.
It's fine, we exercise.
No, we were saying that like it's 80% diet and like,
I ate fried food like 3 times this week.
Oh my god. It's because we're gonna run 3 times this week as well.
But then we're gonna eat.
Oh my god, we're gonna eat so much later. But yeah, I don't know if this study makes me feel better or worse about the LDLs, but I feel like I could still stand to lower it.
I think same. I feel like my stance hasn't really changed.
Yeah, I mean, until further research is confirmed to what has been scientifically proven for now.
Basically, everything in moderation.
Yes. Eat well, exercise well, sleep well.
And as usual, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify. A like and a comment would really help us out.
You can also follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, and feel free to DM us any questions.
Alternatively, you can email us at thelabdoctors@gmail.com. We'll post the links in the episode description so you can check them out if you're interested. Thank you!
Bye-bye.